This is an ABP Live podcast.
Guys, honestly tell me, what's the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up? If you ask me, I open my WhatsApp. I open my WhatsApp groups, my office groups. I start my day with work because all the messages, trending stories, they come in WhatsApp. And I believe all the millennials start their day with their phone by opening WhatsApp or Facebook, replying to someone's messages. So all in all, we all start our day with these apps, these telecommunication apps. But do you know one thing? The Department of Telecommunication has introduced a new draft bill with the focus to regulate the internet-based services in the country and seeks to replace the existing legal framework that is based on the Indian Telegraph Act 1885. Now, the draft bill aims to replace three acts that currently govern the telecommunication sector, namely the Indian Telegraph Act 1885, the Wireless Telegraph Act 1933, and the Telegraph Wires Unlawful Posession Act 1950. The central government believes that India needs a legal framework that's in sync with the realities of the 21st century. The bill will also push for a slew of measures, including a separate set of rules to deal with insolvency for stressed telecom assets, easier merger and acquisition norms, and empowering the government to waive off dues of financially stressed telcos. Minister for Communication Ashwini Vaishnaw had said that the new bill will focus on consumer protection and especially keeping a check on cyber frauds that are very common in telecom services. But what are the changes that this bill proposes and how will it affect the consumers? Let's decode all of this today. So welcome to Clear Cut, only on ABP Live podcast. I'm your newsman Rudrashish, and today let's talk about the draft telecom bill and the changes it aims to bring in the country. Now, India is the second largest telecommunication ecosystem in the world with 117 crore subscribers. The telecommunication sector contributes 8% of the country's GDP and employs more than 40 lakh people. Now, the emergence of new technologies like 5G, Industry of Things, Industry 4.0, M2M communications, and mobile edge computing is going to bring a big change in the daily lives of Indian consumers. Therefore, a new law on telecommunications is the need of the hour for the safe development of the telecommunication sector and for the consumers as well. Now, a big change that is proposed in the bill is the inclusion of internet-based services, or in simple words, over-the-top platform communication services like WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, etc., under the umbrella of telecommunication services. Now, the inclusion of OTT platforms under the telecommunication services has been a long-standing demand of the telecom service providers because the OTT platforms used to offer calls and messages by using the infrastructure of the TSPs, while the TSPs had to incur high amounts of license and spectrum fees. Currently, telecom companies need a license to offer their services, while OTT platforms do not. But by bringing the OTT platforms under the telecommunication services means that the OTT platforms would need a license to operate from now on. Now, this provision has ignited a lot of chatter that WhatsApp and Facebook services will not be free anymore. There'll be a membership fee. However, these assumptions have not been confirmed yet. Besides OTTs, broadcasting services, electronic mail, voicemail, voice, video and data communication services, audio tech services, video tech services, fixed and mobile services, internet and broadband services, satellite-based communication services, internet-based communication services, in-flight and maritime connectivity services, interpersonal communication services, machine-to-machine communication services will now be considered as telecommunication services. Now coming to another important aspect of the bill, surveillance. According to Chapter 6 of the Indian Telecommunications Bill 2022, the government has suggested to do surveillance and suspend networks. This means that the centre or state government can issue order for surveillance or network shutdown to protect the sovereignty, integrity and security of the country. Under this provision, message to or from any person related to any subject shall not be transmitted or intercepted or detained under this order. Now the bill has included some new measures like barring unwanted messages of advertising offering business services, property deals, etc. Now to ensure a smooth transition to the new bill, the bill seeks to continue actions under the repeated law, which means existing licenses, registrations and spectrums would continue. Now let's think about it. Do we really need a new telecommunication bill? And can this new bill ensure our safety from all the new technologies being introduced every day? We'll find out. The draft bill is currently open for suggestions from the masses. And the last date for sending comments, if any, on the draft bill is October 20, 2022. So that's all the news and scoops I have for you today. This episode was produced by Lalit. This is your newsman Rudrashish Kanjilal signing off. Have a wonderful day ahead and keep listening to ABP Live podcasts.
This is an ABP Live podcast.